Welcome to Access USA Realty's training on leads and customers. In this training series, we're going to explain how to use the Prospect Converter system. This is the system that we use to distribute leads to agents, track results from various lead sources and agent performance, and also provide a CRM for our agents to use to manage customer contacts and relationships. We use a variety of resources and methods for generating leads. Once those leads are captured, they are distributed to our agents via Prospect Converter. When an agent accepts a lead assignment, the progress of that lead can be tracked and managed. Even after the transaction closes, Prospect Converter can help maintain the relationship with that customer over the long term. In this video series, our primary focus will be on how to use Prospect Converter for handling new leads and also nurturing them over the long term. One of the primary sources of leads we produce are through our own buyer-focused websites. We have quite a few of them, including bocaagency.com, bestsouthfloridamls.com, realtyfinder.us, and many others. These sites collectively generate many thousands of unique visitors per day. Our site visitors are free to browse and research all they want. We only respond to them when they ask for our help. The leads you get from our buyer-focused sites are all from people who have asked us to help them. We also have seller-focused websites. It's much more difficult to find sellers on the web than buyers for many reasons that we won't go into here, but we pursue seller leads aggressively as well. Leads from our seller-focused sites are also distributed through Prospect Converter. Third-party lead generation includes popular sites like Zillow and Realtor.com, but also many other purchased leads from outside sources and referral-type leads from venues like Redfin, Movoto, and Zoom. We are continuously experimenting with these ever-changing sources, and results from those efforts are fed into Prospect Converter and distributed just like buyer leads. We also have ongoing marketing efforts and programs using various PPC and landing page campaigns, along with social media marketing of various types on platforms like Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, Craigslist, and others. As always, leads from these sources are also fed into Prospect Converter. We receive phone calls from many different sources. People find our company on Google Places, Yelp, and other online business directories, as well as signs, referrals from past customers, business and social contacts, and other sources. And we also get walk-in customers. These vary greatly and include sellers, buyers, and renters. Walk-in customers usually belong to whoever helped them at the office, but calls that are answered by company staff are distributed via Prospect Converter. When referrals come in from identified sources, they are sent to the agent that we are able to identify as the original source. If that agent is no longer with the company, or if we cannot identify the source of the referral, that lead is distributed via Prospect Converter to the matching agent list. Leads that are generated by the company and distributed via Prospect Converter have a split or commission schedule that is different from an agent's personally generated leads or customers. Those splits vary depending on the source and the commission amount. The source is identified on each lead in Prospect Converter, and agents can use that as a reason to accept or decline a particular lead assignment. The primary function of Prospect Converter is to collect and distribute company-generated leads from all of our sources, and to get those leads out to our agents as quickly as possible. This distribution is usually by a round-robin method, but can also be done on a simultaneous blast or individual direct assignment. Leads sent out via round-robin must be accepted or declined within 3 minutes. Leads sent out via a blast are on a first-come, first-served basis. And leads that are individually assigned can either require that the agent accept them, or they can be auto-assigned with no acceptance required, depending on the circumstances. The exact mechanics of these distribution methods will be covered in other videos in this series. Another primary function of Prospect Converter is lead tracking, and we will be getting into that in greater detail in other videos of this training series. The third primary function of Prospect Converter is CRM, Customer Relationship Management. How this works with Prospect Converter will be explained in detail later in this series. CRM best practices in general will be covered in greater detail in other marketing training that we're going to be doing. Prospect Converter can also be used by teams within the company. In these cases, leads generated by the team can be entered into Prospect Converter and routed only to agents within that team according to rules set by the team leader. In many cases, these team-generated leads can also be auto-entered into the system depending on the lead source, or they can be manually entered as necessary. What a team leader cannot do, however, is take company-generated leads and redistribute them to their own team. Teams can also participate in the CRM functions available within Prospect Converter. The team leader can set the rules for team distribution, agent performance, and commission splits for team-generated leads. Any agent can form a team, and agents can join and leave teams as they please, and even belong to more than one team. An agent can also be a leader of one team and a member of another. Besides leads that are distributed via Prospect Converter, there are many other instances where leads are directly captured by agents and do not go through the company lead distribution system. Live calls are an example of this. If an agent is in the office, answers the phone, and gets a customer as a result, that lead belongs to them and will not be distributed via Prospect Converter, and the commission will be paid at that agent's full split. However, the agent should still input the lead into the system so that it can be tracked and so that the agent can manage the customer relationship on an ongoing basis with the CRM. Walk-ins are another source of leads that belong directly to an agent if that customer is handled by an agent in the first place. The same procedures apply here as with live phone calls. We don't have any required floor time at our office. However, agents can voluntarily perform this type of duty by answering calls and handling walk-ins at their option. Also, inbound company calls can be handled remotely, though we won't be getting into how that works in this video series. Agents who get buyers and sellers through their own efforts should also enter these customers and clients into Prospect Converter for the CRM functions it offers. Leads that come in from a large variety of non-primary sources such as Yelp, Google Places and Maps, Yellow Pages, Signs, etc. will be entered into Prospect Converter if they are initially captured by company staff. But since many of these types of leads reach us either by phone or physically stopping by the office, they may also be initially handled by an agent. If the company initially handles these leads and distributes them via Prospect Converter, they will be paid at the company lead split schedule. If an agent initially handles a lead from one of these sources, the agent will be paid their full split on that lead. This training series will primarily cover how to use Prospect Converter from an agent's perspective for lead distribution, tracking, and CRM. And this will apply for leads distributed by the company as well as for agents using Prospect Converter for tracking and CRM purposes for their own customers. In the following videos, we will start getting into the Prospect Converter system itself. We will try to cover every user aspect of the system over a series of fairly short videos. These videos can be used as an entire course or as training on individual topics and refresher courses. Please feel free to contact us anytime with any questions or suggestions you have on this training or the Prospect Converter system.
Succeed with Access USA Realty.